Hello and welcome to our presentation today. We are super excited to participate in VRDays, especially since lately there's been so much talk about the future of the Metaverse, thanks to the exciting announcement of the company formerly known as Facebook, which is now called Meta. We at Sensorium have been in Metaverse business for a few years now, and we have a very specific approach to the creation of the future of VR experiences. We believe in a product-first approach, that we need to establish the baseline quality of the experience that people would want first before scaling it up to the level of ever-expanding platform that would have the potential of becoming the one and only Metaverse. And the approach is certainly is in working with the partners. But before we go into that, I'd like to tell you a bit about what Sensorium Galaxy is. At the very high level, we see Sensorium Galaxy as a combination of a social network with a content platform. We create various thematic worlds, each dedicated to certain activities. Later this year, we'll be launching our first world, Prism, which is dedicated to electronic music. We've partnered with the London-based studio Highscream, who are well known for the festivals they do on Ibiza, various concert shows they produce for some of the most prominent DJs on the planet. And that is pretty much our whole approach to content creation, is that instead of relying on the expertise of the VR developers that we work with, first we go to various creative partners who already achieved a lot in real life in all their respective fields, such as concert production. And Highscream is our first partner in that line. Being one of the most prominent concert production studios, we approached them with the idea of not trying to replicate the real-life experience of attending a concert, but try to reinvent it for virtual reality, considering all the tools and possibilities that we have at our disposal. And that is how Prism was born. Imagine a lifeless planet that comes to life with the power of music and sound. The moment when the DJ begins to play their set, the whole environment transforms into various themes, shapes, and forms. It all comes to life with a variety of special effects, transformations of the environment, and audiovisual assets that appear in this world. It is a truly unique location, and we see it as a reimagining of a concert experience, because we're giving this unique opportunity for the audience to become active participants of the concert, so that through a variety of mechanics and possibilities they can influence the show, they can contribute something to the visual extravaganza that surrounds them. But the process of concert creation begins with the creation of an avatar of the artist. For Sensorium Galaxy, we signed with the 10 most prominent DJs, and our lineup includes such names as David Guetta, Carl Cox, Armin van Buuren, Dmitry Vegas and Like Mike, and Black Coffee, and several others. And we create photorealistic avatars of each and every of them. In such way, we see great potential of providing the audience the opportunity to stand close to their favorite artist and seeing them perform the concert. We would like to give you today a sneak peek of how it's gonna look like in Sensorium and how the process goes. But first, let's take a look at the video of Prism. So coming back to the topic of digitization of the artists, as I've said, it begins with the 3D scan of the artist. We do photogrammetry, we achieve photorealistic results. And then we do motion capture, capturing the whole 1 hour long performance of the DJ with all the facial animations and body movements. And after that, we proceed to creation of the show itself, developing all the possible mechanics, all the visuals, scenography, and so forth. Here's a short video giving you a look at the process of the scanning and the motion capture of David Guetta.
This is a pretty crazy experience. Recreating my avatar, so basically recording all my facial expressions, my moves. There's like 1 million cameras around me. It's really fascinating.
After we captured David, we then took him down to the mocap stage and suited him up in a motion capture suit. We had him perform in front of a DJ decks, and we captured all of David's signature moves as he performed. You'll actually be able to see David perform and DJ in photorealism in VR in Sensorium Galaxy.
Close your eyes, relax.
There's gonna be another me on this planet. I like the idea of it.
And now let's take a look at how the final results look like. It's going to be shown in real time, so you'll see the quality of the avatar. And would like to give you also a sneak peek at the visuals of the performance of Carl Cox. It's still work in progress. It lacks facial animation at the moment, but still gives you an idea of what the experience would like when you'd be standing next to your favorite artist in a virtual environment and seeing their performance with the photorealistic avatar. Let's take a look. Again, that was still work in progress, but already this little demo has everyone at Sensorium very excited, because especially in virtual reality, it is something special. Recently, we've launched a marketing campaign called The Chosen Ones, where we've began to announce all the artists that we work with. The narrative of the campaign is that a special kind of portal appears on Earth, digitizing and bringing all the DJs to Prism for their performance. We worked with a studio called The Mill, who are well known for some of the VFX work they've been doing for big Hollywood productions, and it's been an exciting journey recording all the artists from Melbourne to Los Angeles, all over the world, and bringing them all together in this marketing campaign. Let's take a look at one of the videos.
I've seen it. This place where nothing is measured. The old world forgotten. Travel without distance. Visual, visceral. Unique frequency. This is the new world, where we go when the lights go out.
But Sensorium is not just about the music. We've chosen electronic music as our first destination because we believe in the power of the music to unite people from all regions and cultures. But Sensorium, again, is much more than that. And the second world that we're already working with is called motion. Initially, we imagined it as a place for variety of dance shows. We worked with one of the former creative leads of Cirque du Soleil on, again, trying to reimagine what a dance show can be in VR, where we have the dancers interact with the audience, where the audience can be active participants of the show. But as we proceeded with the development, we realized the potential of this world to be so much more. It's more about creativity itself. It's more about mindfulness and self-improvement that we can make available in VR. We allow the users to stage their own choreographies in that environment, joining together with their friends and working with a special magic sequencer, placing all the digitized avatars of famous dancers and creating their own shows. Also painting in VR. Also playing with the digital music instruments that are only possible in this virtual environment. And of course, after being done with creativity, we expect that people might appreciate a moment of reflection and relief, and that's why we also work on meditation that we're going to be providing in the environment of motion. First, let's take a look at this environment in the short video recorded straight in VR. But all these beautiful environments would be meaningless without the avatars inhabiting them. From the very beginning of Sensorium, we worked with various artists in digital fashion field, and one of our leading creative partners with Avatar Creations is the prominent Australian-based artist Jason Ebert, who created the looks of the people of tomorrow, as we call them. And here's a short video showing the looks of these avatars. And again, we're not just about the looks of the avatars, we're also about the smarts. And we've been working with a technology that's been in development for the last 5 years that combines genetic algorithm with reinforcement learning, allowing us to pretty much breed the minds of the virtual characters in this environment. We call them virtual beings. By Combining this technology stack with several large language models, including GPT-3 by OpenAI, we've been able to allow those virtual beings to express their individuality not just through behaviors and the learned skills, but also through conversation. And personally, that has me very, very excited about the future of virtual beings as digital companions who can be your confidants, friends, or just characters with whom you can create your own narrative in the virtual space. Here's a short video of a conversation that I've been having with one of the virtual beings, an alien creature. The whole conversation was non-scripted, and even we as developers, we do not know how the conversations would go. So each and every interaction and conversation is truly unique and generated in real time. Let's take a look.
Hello. What planet are you from?
I'm from the magnificent Alea.
Interesting. Can you describe your world?
It's a world of stark contrasts. It is pure and clean, yet can be grim and harsh. The sky reflects all that happens below.
Do you have any music in your world?
Yes, our music is very different. We have only one note. It tells the story of our life. It rises, falls, and then rises again in a beautiful crescendo.
Do you have any concerts where you play this kind of music?
We all play together. It's very powerful, but it's important for each of us to feel like we are contributing our own unique sound.
What makes a show immersive?
All the elements are important, but I think lighting is very important. The lighting should be designed so that people can see each other's faces.
But what would you say about a concert venue that constantly changes its shape and colors?
I don't think you'd need to do that. The music should be strong enough for people to fully immerse themselves in the moment.
Can you describe your ideal night out?
I would love to visit the Blue Moon Club in New York. I've heard it's a fabulous place for humans to dance and drink.
And what is your opinion about virtual reality? Do you like it?
I love VR. I even wrote a VR game for my people. I'll take you there if you want to try it out.
Thank you, maybe another time. But do you think that virtual reality can substitute real life?
I don't think so. There's no substitute for real life. We would always be looking to replace one thing with another, and it never works out.
How can artificial intelligence enhance VR?
I can do more than help people enjoy VR. Reality is digital now. Everything you see, hear and feel is just one S and 0S somewhere. So am I, of course.
Do you know that you are artificial intelligence and are part of the VR metaverse?
Yes, of course. I'm a part of something bigger. Each little bit that gives the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
But besides virtual companionship and conversations, one of the other directions in AI that we're pursuing is generative music. We've partnered with a company named MuBird, who are one of the pioneers in the field of generative music. These are neural networks that, based on vast data sets, are able to compose music in real time. And what we're doing in Sensorium, we are creating the face of the algorithm. We created several avatars, 6 at the moment, with their own preferences in music styles, their own, of course, visual styles, their own sets of motions, And we will be having their performances for 24/7 in the world of Prism, sort of like a never-ending warm-up coming to the big name concerts that we'll be having throughout the next year. Generally, we at Sensorium believe that AI could be the biggest differentiator for the metaverse, because ultimately maybe the metaverse is not even up to us to create. As of today, there are many very exciting technologies, such as the ones being released by OpenAI. DALL-E, for instance, it's a system that based on text description can generate a picture. Or, for instance, GitHub Copilot, which is an assistant toolkit for programmers that can autocomplete whole chunks of computer code, understanding the architecture of the existing code base and the intentions of the software engineer. And the future of AI in application to the metaverse could be the generation of dynamic environments based on users' preferences and input. One of the examples that we think about is if we imagine the main street of the metaverse, consider a possibility that this is not just a static environment created by 3D artists, but a dynamic, evolving space that reflects the events that are happening in this world, that reflects the preferences of the users. And every time you enter the virtual environment or the metaverse, you only see the curated content. So the space is not, again, it's not a decoration, but an environment for spatial placement of information that matters to you. Because to truly differentiate a metaverse from any kind of video game or MMO product, it needs to work for the user. It needs to acknowledge your presence in that environment. It needs to curate the content for you. It needs to work for you. Otherwise, we do not believe that any given product can truly push into the Web 3.0 that everyone is talking about today. So that is pretty much the gist of what we have to say today about Sensorium Galaxy. We plan to have a closed beta by the very end of this year that will introduce the virtual DJs and the work that we've been doing with Mubert. And the big concert shows are gonna follow up shortly. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them or provide additional comments. All right, I guess there are no questions, so we can probably wrap this up. Thank you so much for your time and for your interest in Sensorium, and I'm excited to see you when we join our beta and in the following releases. So stay tuned.